Alright, welcome. Ignore the Pizza Hut tab. I had to just order pizza, so it is what it is. But yes, here we are with Demon Slayer Volume 2. This actually just released this Friday. Funny enough, this is the first set I think I've ever seen in EN where the set officially releases the same week as the release events. I'm not gonna lie. There is no reason to ever do any of the release events if it's like this. Because why would I pay $25-$30 for like 6 packs when I could pay like $50 to $60 for an entire box? Yes, you can get release event cards and you can get the promo cards, which in this case is a Tokyo AP. But who fucking cares, man? Release event stamps are fucking garbage in general. They're so shitty. And then the APs, you can get them later. Like in a week, they'll be like less than 10 cents, probably. Maybe 50 cents. We'll be generous and say they're 50 cents. The winter ones, a little more. But they're APs. You only need 3 of them, and then that's it. Who fucking cares? Oh my god. Also, again, the release events are always just one thing. In this case, it's just one character, the Murichiro. So if you don't care about Murichiro, this AP doesn't matter to you. So it sucks. I don't know why they did it like this, but they did. Okay, rant over on that. Now we're talking about the market. So this set released 2 days ago, officially. We do have a bunch of purchases, and let me tell you, these are expensive as fuck. So, first off, the Shinobu. This has a purchase. All of these have purchases. I'm pretty sure it's just one purchase each. Well, what's happening? I am middle mouse clicking. Okay, it's working now. Let me pull up these. For some reason, I can't filter it by all the 2 stars, I think, unless they just fixed it. Yeah, I can't. So there is 8 2 stars total. 8 of them are all Hashiras. 4 of them are new, and then the other 4 are old. I will look at those later, but we're gonna look at these ones that are shown on the page right now. So first we have the Shinobu. This has what, one purchase? Yeah, still has one purchase. They bought this, I believe, the day before release. Yeah, because yeah, the 12th was Friday. Yeah, so they bought a day before release. So they bought pre-release for $500. In my opinion, way too expensive. First of all, it's a fucking 2 star. I get there's 8 of them, but this ain't Nikkei. There's not 12 of them. So pulling the 2 star is actually not as hard. Pulling the one you want specifically is still gonna be hard in general, but again, there's only 8 of them. The issue is this is a volume 2, so people won't go as deep into the set. If they're trying to upgrade their decks, they will need SRs, but again, the SRs are really cheap, and we'll touch on that in just a bit. But yes, these 2 stars are really expensive. Is she a waifu? Yes. Is she beautiful? Yes. Is the 2 star good looking? Yes. But that doesn't mean it's worth this much. For $460, at that point, I'm gonna buy a 3 star instead. Fuck that. Yeah, I could get a 2 star Shinobu, or I could just get a 3 star from almost any other set, and it will be cheaper than this. This will probably go down, but we're still in the first few days, so wait like a week, if not a month. These will drop because no one's gonna buy at the shitty price. Same with the Mitsuri. It's a waifu, but someone bought it the day for 200, which is actually fair. I think 200 is not a terrible price for a 2 star. However, the lowest listings are now 400, which is fucking stupid. No one's gonna buy them. Those sellers can go kill themselves. We have the new Rengoku. This is new because Rengoku is its own deck now. It's a deck. It's fine. In a vacuum, it's okay, but in general, really garbage. There was a purchase for 190. He is a fan favorite, so I'm not surprised at that price. I think it's a little too expensive. I was thinking like 150 for him. It's cool looking, but there's no signature on it. But the foiling is pretty clean. Although I haven't seen Rengoku's in person myself. I've only seen by pictures or in person. I've only seen the Obonai and the Shinobu. So, but yeah, the Rengoku's. There's a listing for 165. This isn't a terrible price. If you wanted to bling out your deck, sure. This isn't a bad price. I said 150, and that's where it should be, if not less. But this isn't a terrible price for all things considered. Then we have the Giyu. This is a new one for the Hashiras too. This is a pretty good card. You kind of have to play at least 2 of these. Can't play 4, but I mean, like, it's kind of hard to cut stuff out. But that said, good looking 2 star. We actually have multiple sales. 125. 250 for some fucking reason, and then 187. I'm not gonna lie, 125 is a lot lower than a little lower than I thought he'd be worth. But then again, this is for Hashira deck, which is a really dog shit deck, and the new quote-unquote support isn't really that amazing. It's not gonna propel him like up a tier, to be honest. The deck is still shitty, but 125, really good price. So they got for steal. So congrats to whoever bought it for that price. 2 days before release. Someone paid 250. They're fucking stupid. 187. They're also stupid. Realistically, this is like a 130 to $140 card. 130, 140. But any less than that, perfectly great. You can get it if you want to. We have the Muichiro here. This is a new one. This is for the blue color deck, which is basically a site-based deck. 2 builds. There's Tanjiro Nezuko, and then there's Muichiro and Mitsuri. But yes, they do rely heavily on their sites. In the vacuum, this is a pretty good color. It's pretty good decks, but obviously in general meta, these are garbage. Don't even consider playing them for like regionals and stuff. That's it. Popular, fairly popular character. Not more popular than some of the other Hashiras. Like I imagine like Rengoku is probably one of the most popular ones, and then like Shinobu and Mitsuri and stuff. But Tokido, again, all the Hashiras are well liked anyways, so this is a pretty good one. 2 sales, 150, 145. Yeah, that's fair. It's not worth 200. I'm gonna tell you this right now. This is like I think these prices. This is actually a pretty good price range for this, all things considered. Not bad price. I think that's actually fair. 140 to 150. Yeah, pretty good. Overnight. So this was an interesting one. Now someone can correct me if you're watching this. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But as far as I remember, in JP, Hashiras actually didn't have a lot of cards. It was an unplayable thing, right? So to make it a deck, they released a binder collection specific to JP. That they released a bunch of these cards, and I'm pretty sure these arts were in the binder collection, similar to how like the Bleach binders have like unique arts. Even though the cards don't exist in the actual sets or anything, they are just unique arts on their own. I believe the Hashira binder collection actually released all of these arts, but I could be wrong, maybe. I'm trying to remember how they did it, but I have to look back on it. But I'm pretty sure these were all part of the binder collections, and then they just made them 2 stars into our set. But that said, this is an older card. This is from Volume 1. It's a 2 cost, on play, draw a sideline, and it has an active trigger. So yes, they do have 4 of the 2 stars as older cards in an alt art, and then the other 4 are like the new cards. But I didn't even look at the price. Whoops. Yeah, this thing should not be that expensive, to be honest. I think this is like $100. Like Obanai, he's liked. He's well liked, but I wouldn't say he's like the most popular Hashira. He's probably like one of the more least popular Hashiras, honestly. 125, not a bad price. I would say he's more like $100, if not a lot less. But I mean, it is a 2 star at the end of the day. So realistically, I would say he's like $80 or $90, but 125 is not the worst price. It's just 200 is way too much. And then we kind of go down in value, but because it's a volume 2, the price of boxes and the fact that this just released, the price of boxes and cases are a lot higher. You have to remember, the first volume got bought out because the movie released, and so the problem was you couldn't really get the boxes anywhere. However, if you wanted to build decks, the cards themselves, super cheap. It's just people bought out boxes and cases. That said, there's something similar happening here too. Granted, for Volume 2, this is like one of the better ones that we've seen so far. It's better than the last one, which was Kogia's Volume 2. This provides upgrades to every deck, and for the most part, the upgrades are pretty significant. It's just the obvious winners are like yellow, Tanjiro Nezuko, and purple Muzan. But right now it's about $860 a case. Haven't had a lot sold. In my opinion, once Part 2 of Infinite Castle releases in theaters, I would not be surprised if these got bought out and went to the same price as the Volume 1s, just because of the hype of Demon Slayer and how well liked the IP is. So just kind of be aware of that. If you're trying to get boxes or cases, they will go down for sure over the next several weeks, if not months. But once the Part 2 for Infinite Castle releases in theaters, these have a potential to be wiped out. So just be aware of that. That's at 55 a box. Yeah, that's kind of expensive because it's fucking UA. But yeah, 55 a box. Still not a terrible price. That's like what my local pricing is for boxes. I've recently learned that some places like California and stuff, or like even on the East Coast, they sometimes sell boxes for $80 and people buy them. I don't know why the fuck people pay that price for UA. If that's like the only accessibility to boxes, I guess, but at the same time, paying $80 for a fucking box for the price of 2 boxes at 80, I could buy 3 boxes here and have money left over. But I don't know, maybe it's like a distribution thing. I'm not really sure. Those are shitty prices. But that said, this is way too expensive for a box in terms of value. because you could tell the alts went down pretty fast. These are not the worst price for alts, but these are still pretty expensive. These just released. These will go down in price. You have the Muzan here, which is the new 4 of. It's a really good card for your deck. You have the blue Tanjiro here, and it's super red. The new Akaza is just a really good card in general. If you want to bling out your deck, you can. I think I would just rather wait if I were you. If you're interested in getting these alts, wait. They will go down in price. It's just too early to get these. These are way... Okay, so alts, in my opinion, should be about this price. Because they're altars, they're special. And also because Bandai is fucking stupid and they cut the rates to get people to buy more boxes, even though that doesn't really work. That said, though, right, these are alt arts, and this is Union Arena, unfortunately. These will drop in price. While I think these are technically some of these being fair prices for the cards, I think these are still pretty expensive, all things considered. These will probably go down in the next couple of weeks, so you don't have to worry about that. Also, in terms of meta, while Purple Muzan and Yellow Tanjiro and Nezuko are really good, they're also not like meta dominating. They don't change the meta because we have Kaiju number 8, we have Kenshin, we have FMA, Roy Mustang, we have Purple Bleach, we have Green Bleach with the Toshio Kenpachis, by the way, so that exists. And also next month we get Evangelion and SAO Volume 2, which SAO Volume 2 is probably the greatest volume, one of the best Volume 2s ever released in the history of UA, because it significantly upgrades every deck, and the new color is off rip immediately a top tier deck, right? So it's like a good color, good new color with good cards. It's not just like a niche. It's good in the vacuum also, and then they're all meta. All the upgrades are really good, but we'll talk more about that later. But right now, these are the price of your alts. There are some other ones, but we'll look at the SRs really quick. Okay, so you can see here the price of the SRs. They're really fucking cheap. The set just released 2 days ago, and these have dropped down significantly. The problem is because it's Volume 2, you're pulling more of the blues than you are any other colors. There are 2 yellows. These are for 2 different builds. Tanjiro, this is the new color trigger. You play 4 of, by the way. Because the other one from Volume 1 was completely fucking shit. It was so bad that despite being a yellow color trigger, you do not play 4 of them. Because it was like a 4 or 5/2 that doesn't play active and only kills a 3k or less. It's really shitty, right? It was a shitty Tanjiro, and it sucks so bad that you would never max out on him. But this one you max out on, so this is a 4 for the deck. Shinobu here, arguably a 4 of, but you can mix around ratios. She's same with the Tengen in the Hashira deck. It's a 3 cost step with double gen, but she has like additional effects basically. She's also a get trigger, unlike the Tengen, which I believe is a active trigger or a draw trigger, one of those. But yeah, this is a pretty good card for the Hashiras. You do play at least 2 of them. Moves on immediate 4 of. Most of the supplemental supports are not SRs. It's just these are SRs that you do need to make them a lot more viable. This is like a 4 of. You do need some of the other stuff, but they're bulk, like the Gyokos and stuff, or like the new whatever cards. Basically, you're adding mostly bulk and then these SRs. And then we have Rengoku. This is different because he's its own deck now, so this is entirely new. But you can see the prices. They are dropping, and they will continue to drop. The thing is, in terms of meta, blue is not good. It's only good in the rare battles, because blue is actually a pretty strong deck for rare battles. But, again, Tanjiro and Nezuko exist, Muzan exists, and these 2 decks are a lot better. So, these will drop down in price over the next several weeks. If you wait, right, because we don't have rare battles coming anytime soon. I don't even think the rare battles are next month, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the rare battles start, like, the month after or something. So, if you're trying to get them from rare battles, you can wait. These will get cheaper. Even if you jump the gun and just buy them now, these are still really cheap. Like, let's just look at the Tanjiro and Muzan. I'm just looking at the more meta stuff. Let's see. So, we're spending getting on to $5 for a copy. This seller has 3 of them. This seller has 23 of them, but it has mandatory shipping. And if you really want your playsets, you're spending, what, $15, I think? Yeah, you're spending about $15 for a playset of an SR that makes the deck, like, way better. Turns out when you have protection for your Nezukos, that's all that you needed to make the deck really good. there's other stuff like the zero cost Nezuko's and stuff, but this card alone fixes the deck a lot. It protects your Nezuko's. It can switch to active if you rest an active Nezuko on your front line. It's also your color trigger, so it's just really good in general. And then the Muzans. 350, 357. Oh, 7 Thunders again. Okay, so this seller has shit tons, clearly. I'm not advertising stores, by the way. I want to make this very clear. I'm not sponsored or anything. But I will say, if you want to get your places of cards, just get them from 7 Thunders. The playset of Tanjiro is like $15. By the way, it is mandatory shipping of 131. So if you're getting the cards, you know, like all at once, they're not charging additional shipping. It's just 131 flat shipping. So 15 for the Tanjiros, I guess. And then what? $13 for the Muzons. So you're spending $28 for for a playset of the SRs needed to make these two decks really good. That's not a terrible price, honestly. And even then, in terms of meta, Tanjiro and Nezuko is still pretty good. Turns out switch hitting is really good when you're getting a lot of attacks in. Although we will see more of that with SAO Volume 2, but with the blue Kirito Asuna. But that's for another time. And I want to look at the other cards. There's APs too. Those don't really matter right now. Okay, so market available. These are some of the other alts. The 3 cost Mitsuri, 4 cost Tokido. We have a 3-star Nezuko, and while this does look really nice, this is way too expensive for a 3-star. Clearly, it has no purchases, and it shouldn't. 860 off rip is way too expensive for this. You're basically pricing it the same as like a Rukia, which I think is still one of the best 3-stars ever released in the game. And of all the women in UA that have 3 stars, Rukia is still like one of, if not the best looking ones. That said, Nezuko is still a really popular character. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes for about $600. It's just 860 is way, way too much. Unironically, for $860, you can get probably a playset of some of the 2-stars, which I think is more worth it than one of these. But again, for collectors, this is like a collector's piece, so it's nice. But yeah, here's the other 2-stars. Guillaume, Tengen. Yeah, these 3 are the other cards that already were in Volume 1. It's just that they're getting their alt charts here and they're 2-stars. So Tsunemi, the double attack 4K, garbage. The Guillaume, this is like your game closer. He just gets impact, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the Tengen. This is for red specifically. It's a Hashira, but it's not the yellow Tengen. It's the red one, so it's a little different. But yeah. Overall, I mean, this card, the Tengen, should probably be about 120 at most. This is way too expensive for it. This is double the price of what it should be. Guillaume, as much as I like him, this is actually not a terrible price, but I think he's like 120 also. Realistically, these Hashiras that are alts from the Volume 1 cards, they should be a lot cheaper, honestly. I think this is like a $120 card. It's about the same price as the other one. And Tsunemi, man, this card's he's so ass, dude. I'm sorry. This thing should be like it's fucking $70, $80 at most. I'm sorry. He sucks ass, dude. A 4 cost, he's a double attacker, but he's a 2K. He's a double gen at least, but man, what the fuck? This thing's so garbage. Yeah, I guess you get another attacking because he's a double attacker, but turns out it's really easy to kill a 2K, especially in the current meta. Who cares? One Renji raid kills him immediately, or at 5 cost Ichigo removes 4 cards to kill him. I don't know, he's whatever. So, anyways, that's about it for Demon Slayer, though. There's not really much to talk about. We're still early in prices right now, but these are just really expensive right now in terms of the alts. At least for the 2-stars. The 1-stars are still pretty reasonable, so you can kind of get them if you really just want to bite the bullet and get them now. I wouldn't fault you for that. It's just I think some of these are a little too expensive now, and they will continue to drop in price. Because this is a Volume 2 at the end of the day. No one, unless you really like Demon Slayer, no one really cares about it. And again, if you don't care about the rare battles or you don't care about the IP, then this is another set you don't have to bother with. And then the SRs, they're still pretty cheap. So if you want to get them now, you can, in case they might go up. But that's on you. But that's about it for this video. I do want to do more coverage. I know Nikkei cards just got revealed for JP for the Precious Booster, so I will do a video on that probably later today. But I'll do a video covering that. But for now, I guess I'll see you in the next video. later today if I decide to make it. And then I guess, yeah, that's about it. I'll see you then.